Welcome to Influencer Sports, and in this video I'm doing my AEW Full Gear recap. Full Gear, it was a great show from start to finish. I didn't watch the zero hour, but once the main card started, I was tuned in for that. It got started with the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match with a Private Party defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the House of Black, the Outrunners, and the Acclaimed. I still don't get how wrestling promotions do fatal four-way tag team matches, specifically AEW and WWE, but only two people are in the ring at a time. Because when you do a triple threat tag team match, you have three people in the ring. So for a fatal four-way tag team match, it would make sense to have four. But that's not the point. It was a solid match, a good way to get the show started. But it's a match that was uh, it was one of the matches that was added to that I would start the show, and I'll get to that later. But it was a solid tag team match. My main problem with this match is that it was too focused on the Acclaim and them potentially splitting up. Like when they came out and did their stuff, Max Caster was like, everyone loves the best wrestler alive. Then Anthony Bowens looked at him kind of weird. Then Max and Anthony, they kept teasing them, like they continued to miscommunicate throughout the match, teased them breaking up. So it got to a point where it's like the match is too focused on them potentially splitting up and not the tag titles. Like they've been building, they're building to it on Dynamite and stuff, and I feel like it's better if you keep it there. But it feels like it was more focused on that than the actual tag team titles. The House of Black, they did their thing, but it's time for them to start winning again. I knew Private Party wouldn't lose. I'm a fan of Private Party, and I'm glad they're the champions right now. But eventually, House of Black has to start winning something, whether they venture off on their own and they all get singles titles, or they get back in the trios picture, who I have no clue who the trios champions are right now. Yeah. But the House of Black, they got to start winning at some point. The Outrunners, the fans were behind them. They're a really good tag team. They'll be tag team champions at some point, just not right now. And I expect Private Party to go on a pretty decent reign with the tag titles. And you can spin off of this match they just had, and you can have three feuds right there. Even though the Acclaimed is really the only team that I could see taking a loss, and they'll be fine. That actually might be their next feud, and that what leads to the Acclaim breaking up. They aren't able to get the titles off a Private Party, and that's how you do it. Yeah, that could be a great program for them. The next match you had MJF and Roderick Strong. This was it was a good match. MJF, he won as I expected. Didn't have too many notes for this match. MJF, the way that he keeps when MJF said he started the match off with a promo, and he was like, while I was shooting movies, your mom was shooting your daddy, and that was crazy. You know, MJF, one of the best heels in professional wrestling. And then for him to just go out the ring and start talking before the match even, well, the bell had already rung, and he just starts talking before the first punch is thrown, and that was really the first punch right there. And obviously, Roderick Strong was upset, and went after MJF, but MJF ended up winning the match by submission. Roderick Strong ended up tapping out. Then MJF, he went to get a chair after the match, put it on Roderick's arms, then he stomped on the chair, hurting Roderick Strong's arm. Then Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, allowed him to come out there. And Kyle O'Reilly pushes Adam Cole because he's like, this is all your fault. If you hadn't been so involved and invested in MJF, this would have never happened. And I still don't like the fact that because of the injuries and the timelines of when they came back, that MJF is the heel in this situation. Because Adam Cole is the one that turned on MJF. So when you think about it, Kyle O'Reilly is right. This is really all Adam Cole's fault, because he was the one that decided to turn on MJF. Like the whole "I did it before you could do a" thing. That's really stupid, especially when he turned on him. Then because of the injuries, he just happened to come back as the babyface. He was a heel in the feud when it was originally supposed to happen. And now the match is getting pushed back to, not sure what the next pay-per-view is, but that's when they'll probably have it. And MJF should win that match too. And I was surprised Adam Cole didn't try to interfere in the match, but I guess he'll get a shot at MJF soon. But I'm thinking MJF wins that match. Now the next match, this is the match that I feel like should have started the show. It was Mercedes Monè defending the TBS Championship against Kris Statlander. This is one of the best women's matches AEW put on in the month of November. And this really should have started the show. I feel like this match was better than the MJF match and the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. This would have been a great way to get the show started. Because like from start to finish, it was just a great match all the way through. And like it was a lot of good moments in this match. It was a few near falls. Kris Statlander almost won, but Mercedes got her foot on the rope. That's one thing. That's one of my biggest gripes when it comes to wrestling. Like a wrestler is clearly by the ropes, and then the other wrestler attempts to make the pin without moving the wrestler, and they can easily put their hand and put their foot on the rope. But this is definitely Mercedes' best title defense, and her title reign hasn't been bad. I just think AEW's done a bad job building up the women's division. But I did think going into it, Kris Statlander would have won because I felt like she needed it. And Mercedes needs to move on to the world title picture. But we might have, but for now, keeping Mercedes in there, I guess it's cool. This was a really good match. You know, Mercedes can put on good matches. It's just they got to do a better job building up these matches. Because I didn't think the build was that great, like having Mercedes look kind of weak going into it. And then, like Kris Statlander, obviously the stronger woman. But Mercedes came out on top. Don't know what they're going to do with Camille, or she'll be the next challenger or what. But that was Mercedes' best title defense. It should have started the show. That was the best match up to this point. Next was one of the matches I was looking most forward to was Switchblade, Jay White versus Hangman, Adam Page. Like I said, Jay White, he's grown on me as a wrestler. He's becoming one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. And I didn't know much about Jay White before he got to AEW. So just seeing his matches and his promo work, it's been great seeing what he can do. Then both him and Adam Page and the history of this rivalry with Jay White always winning, Hangman just not being able to beat him. And they continue here. They both targeted each other's legs. It was like Jay White's, his ankle was hurting, then Adam Page, his knee was hurting. They both targeted that. And these are two great wrestlers, so they're going to pick apart any weaknesses that they see. And then when they were outside the ring, it was way longer than 10 seconds when they were outside the ring. When Adam Page told the ref to come outside the ring, that was way longer than 10 seconds. Should have been a double count out, technically. I'm glad it wasn't, because the match had to continue, and I was enjoying it. But it's just a certain point, you just got to say it's a 20 count, or it's no count at all, or add some type of stipulation to a match when guys are out the ring that long, because that's the ref. The ref shouldn't be outside the ring. He should be making the count. So, but it was a really good match. Jay White was able to win, and then as Jay White, he's limping up the ramp. Then Adam Page comes to attack him. Christopher Daniels comes out there, tries to stop it. Adam Page pushes him. So he's probably looking at a fine on Dynamite. That'll probably be announced or whatever. But yeah, solid match, and Switchblade, Jay White got the win. So yeah, that was a fun match. Really enjoyed it. Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. Only problem is the no sales in this match. There's a few no sale moments where it's like, wow, he no sales an Oz cutter. That shouldn't happen. But overall, it was a really good match. And the fact that Kyle Fletcher won clean, it was actually surprising. Like, Don Callis was out there, but Don Callis didn't interfere or anything in the match. So, yeah, it was a really good match from start to finish. Ospreay ended up getting the win. Not Ospreay. Ospreay ended up taking the loss to Kyle Fletcher. It was after Kyle Fletcher had a neck breaker on the top turnbuckle, and then he was able to pin him for the 1, 2, 3 and get the win. Oh, it was a brain buster, not a neck breaker. But yeah, he ended up winning the match clean, and that was a really good match from Kyle Fletcher. I'm interested to see where they go from here. I don't know if this continues or if this is the end of it, because when a heel wins clean, it's not much a babyface can really say about the outcome or result of the match. So it's like Will Ospreay probably moves on from here, and Kyle Fletcher, if he can get a few more wins, win a few more feuds, he'll be in a title picture very soon. Don't know for what title, but it's AEW. They got all the titles. Then the promo that followed that, well, Mariah May and Mina, they had the champagne celebration, and then it was going good. They drank some champagne, they started dancing. Then, but when they was drinking the champagne, Mariah May kind of gave Mina a look, and Mina didn't notice it. And then as Mina, she starts walking up towards the ramp, figured something's gonna happen. Then Mariah May, she has the champagne glass, tries to hit Mina. Mina ducks, then she's shocked, so she kicks the glass out of Mariah's hands. Then she spears her off the ramp through the table. And that was a scary spot because I'm pretty sure they missed the table and Mariah May hit her head. Don't know how severe that was. Think she's fine. But it's not the easiest spot to pull off, so I can't really put the blame on anybody. But it's been a lot of times this year where those wrestlers have missed the tables in AEW. But so Mina's next in line for the AEW Women's World Championship. A great way to get that rivalry started. Mariah May, cause just constantly turning on her friends. First it was Toni Storm, now it's Mina. Don't know who will win going into it. It just depends how they build it up, cause that'll be the next match. But great way to start it off, and that's a great way to have the women being booked. I feel like Mariah May, she's had the best feud for women so far this year in AEW. The stuff with Toni Storm was great. The stuff she's doing with Mina should be great. Just wish it was more consistent with all the women throughout the roster. They could continuously do this. Like Mercedes, they need to be doing it with her, Kris Statlander, Willow. When Kris Statlander and Willow had that rivalry, that was fun. They need to do more stuff like that to help elevate the women's divisions so you have more contenders for the TBS title or for the World Championship. Then the TNT title match, what I was least excited for, didn't really care about this match at all. But Jack Perry defended the title against Daniel Garcia. Before the match, it was a really good promo with Garcia talking to his mom. It's like, it's your time to shine now, basically what she was saying. And Daniel Garcia ended up getting the win. He made Jack Perry tap out. Didn't really take a lot of notes for this match. Wasn't really invested into it. It was a solid match. I'm glad Daniel Garcia got the win. Got the TNT Championship. Hope he has a solid reign with the title. Jack Perry's reign was solid, and that's what this title needs. Solid reigns. Don't have to hold it super long. And then, like I said, a guy like Kyle Fletcher, he could be the one to take it off of Garcia at some point in 2025. Then after that, Ricochet had a match against Takeshita for the International Championship. Takeshita just won it recently, so it wouldn't have made sense for Ricochet to win. It was a very entertaining match. I enjoyed it. Takeshita, he retained the International Championship, and Ricochet is going to win it at some point. I just don't think the time is right now. Pretty sure Ricochet he lost in the triple threat match, then he lost the 8-man tag team match on Dynamite, then he just lost this match. So he already has 3 losses in AEW, but he's done a lot of winning so far since he's been there, and his losses have really came in multi-man. 2 of them are multi-man matches, and that was his first singles loss, so he'll be fine, especially losing to a guy like that, because Takeshita, he's the better wrestler than Ricochet. I don't think Ricochet is on the level of somebody like Will Ospreay. Even he's a good wrestler, but I don't think he's ever been on that level. Maybe when he was in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma, but that was a while ago. He hasn't been on that level in a while. But yeah, I think he'll win the title at some point. The time just isn't right now. Then you have Bobby Lashley and Swerve Strickland. Hard-hitting match right out the gate. Shelton Benjamin didn't take long for him to get ejected from ringside because the ref caught him interfering. The DDT spot that they did looked dangerous when Because it looked like Bobby completely missed the apron. Looked like his head was supposed to land on the apron and he completely missed it. So it could have been really dangerous. But he was fine. Then Swerve did the Swerve stomp through the Spanish announce table. And that was crazy. That was one of the best spots of the match. And then Swerve, he had a stare down with a MVP. And then Swerve, Lashley, they got back into the ring, going at it. Like I said, it was a hard-hitting match throughout. And then Lashley, he would end up getting the win. He put him in the hurt lock. And then Swerve, he passed out. It's not like he tapped out. He didn't take a pin. So that makes Lashley look great. Keeps Swerve protected because he didn't take a pin. He didn't tap out. He don't look weak in that instance. But then the Hurt Syndicate attacked Swerve and Prince Nana after the match. So it's like Lashley could have took the win and moved on. But I think I said this in my predictions video. They'll probably do a trilogy because these are two great wrestlers. So you can do a trilogy, have Swerve win the second match. Then I think Lashley comes out on top of the feud. And that'll be great. It'll keep, like, if they just consistently have good matches, both guys will be fine. Yeah, and I think Lashley said, I read a quote about Lashley saying he don't like the term black champion. And that makes a lot of sense. It's like they done so much to get to the level, to get to where they are, where it's like you just want to be recognized as a champion. Don't want it to always be, oh, he's the black champion. So Lashley, he's going to win a title at some point in AEW. The Swerve will be in the title picture again at some point. Maybe that's third. Maybe Swerve wins that second match, then that third match to end the trilogy is the number one contenders match to see who becomes the number one contender for the World Championship. But speaking of the World Championship, the main event, the match at least most people was waiting for. I know I was waiting for it. Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. I'm huge fans of both of these guys, but I figured the outcome, you pretty much knew what would happen. But this was a great match. I didn't expect it to start how it started. Orange Cassidy right out the gate started with multiple orange punches, but this is also a problem because the way that he came out the gate hot, I wish it wasn't with his finishing move or signature move. I wish like he attacked him with like some punches, some strikes, some kicks and stuff like that. But it's like he used multiple orange punches, and these are the moves that this is the moves that you usually use to end the match. So it's like, and obviously Jon Moxley, he's the champion, so you're going to do whatever you can to win that match, especially when it gets personal. They took out your best friend and all that. But he started off the match with his finishers, and that's a problem. Like, you shouldn't be starting off your match with finishers even like this. Like, this is like a normal attack that makes a lot of sense. But then it devalues the finisher, so once you use it later in the match, it won't mean nothing, or it's going to get reversed because you didn't use it so many times. And they have history, so Mox wasn't expecting him to start off that hot. But then later in the match, Moxley's able to slow the match down, get it to his pace the way he likes it. Then Marina Shafir, she interfered in the match when the ref wasn't looking. That's something you expected her to interfere in the match. The Blackpool Combat Club, they surrounded the ring, but the conglomeration, they came out there to make the save. Then Marina Shafir, she got in the ring. Willow Nightingale came out there to even the odds up. Then Moxley, he delivered the Death Rider. He was able to retain the AEW World Championship. But it was before that. I forgot to mention this. Didn't write this down in my notes. But Wheeler Yuta, he came out there and hit Orange Cassidy with a Busaiku knee. And you know the history with them. They used to be really close friends. So it's like, wow. Because Wheeler Yuta, he was trying to make it. He's been stuck the whole time trying to figure out, should he side with the Blackpool Combat Club or what? And he finally sided with him. Busaiku knee to Orange Cassidy. Then Yuta and Moxley putting some type of chemicals and stuff in Orange Cassidy's mouth. Then who was it that came out there? It was Adam Page. He came out there to distract them for some reason. He attacked Willie Yuta. Then he stared down Moxley. Then that led to Christian Cage coming out there and him hitting the kill switch on Jon Moxley, and he's getting ready to cash in. Adam Page leaves the ring. Then Jay White comes out there to stop Christian Cage from winning the title. Well, he never actually got to cash in, so he stopped him from cashing in. Then the Blackpool Combat Club jumped Jay White for whatever reason, and as they're going to the back, trying to hop in their car to hightail it, get out of there, Darby Allin crashed the car. And this was the funniest part of the show, because Darby Allin didn't have to wrestle once to just start bleeding. Like, obviously, he crashed the car, so that's the result of it. But he didn't wrestle once, and he was one of the few guys that bled that night. So that was crazy. So they knocked somebody out and stole somebody else's SUV or whatever to get out of there. And that's how the show ended. So it's looking like Darby Allin is going to be next in line to challenge Jon Moxley, which makes a lot of sense. Going to be a good challenger. It's going to be a good match. Christian Cage is going to cash in at some point. Maybe it's after that. Who knows? But AEW Full Gear was a great show. It was fun to watch. It was really no bad matches. I enjoyed the Jay White match. There was Jay White and Hangman Adam Page. That was my favorite match on the show. The main event was great. That was a great way to end it. Now, the closing segments, it feels like it was kind of rushed with the Jay White, Adam Page, and all that. But a lot of it made sense with what's been happening over the past few weeks. And then Mercedes and Kris Statlander, even though it was just one women's match and a women's segment, which it could have been more than that, they did a great job. So now a few matches like the Ricochet one kind of felt like it was forced on here. The other matches made a lot of sense. It was definitely a long pay-per-view, but the quality is always good with AEW. They consistently put on great pay-per-views. So leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts on AEW Full Gear.